There you go, and we're live.
Yay.
So good morning, good morning. So it normally takes a few minutes for all of the different channels to connect, because we are live this morning over Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. So if you're going to do it, I think do it, and let's go live everywhere. So beautiful.
Hot flushes.
So. Oh, well, I got that. Actually, I just had to open the window, different kind of hot flash though. So, I mean, thank God for the lovely weather at the moment. So good morning to everybody watching, and, welcome in. If you're with us today, please just drop us a message, and, we can then pull it up. If you're on StreamYard and we've got permission, we can pull it up and say hello to you as well. So good morning to Amanda. And Amanda, thank you for being my first, and this is going to run every 2 weeks now, my first live on socials with, actually. And I'm doing this deliberately so I can pull up and work, show your amazing talents to everybody that I know on all of my channels, and also back over to your channels as well, just to go and really, express how amazing you guys are that I work with. So I'm really quite privileged, I think, to be able to work with some amazing people. So, Amanda, do you want to just share a bit about yourself for everybody that's watching? So
I will, of course. And thank you so much, Paula. And I love being here, and I love working with you. And as I've said to you loads of time, I think we are a match made in heaven. We make a great team. So yeah, hello to you and hello to anyone. My name is Amanda Grace. I'm a life coach, and I help women stop screwing themselves over so that they can confidently and consistently show up as your best self. And how I do that is I teach you how to journal and turn journaling into a superpower. It'll be your secret weapon throughout life.
Fabulous. There you go. So what, we met now, it must be about a year ago, I think, wasn't it?
That's right.
Yeah, when you was looking to take your Creative Freedom Bootcamp online, yes, and to get it out to the world. So and what was the reason behind doing that?
I've been delivering teaching online since 2015-ish. And I started teaching on other people's programs. And then I developed my own program, and my own program is called Raw Online. And that was a 4-year contract with another platform, let's say. And that 4-year contract was up, and 4 years had passed. And so I had evolved my process, my learning, my skills. And so I decided to create the Creative Freedom Bootcamp and condense that learning into, just to make it more accessible to people, to create more of a buzz around it, more of a community around it, and to teach people journaling as a practice that can really help them connect to themselves in ways that help you see yourself differently, which is everything in the world. Who you are being is everything, and how you see yourself is everything. So journaling helps you do that. So this was my attempt at bringing it to the masses and making it easy for you to take this course.
Well, I mean, and I think that you certainly did that. I mean, I just remember being so mesmerized by you. Every boot camp that you've ever run, actually, you've impacted hundreds of women's lives. You really have. And what they get back from it, and some of the feedback and the comments that you get have just been amazing. So it's been really great working and seeing that evolve, actually, over the last year. But now you're walking into, this is going to be, I mean, the 6th of April. Let me just pop this up on the bottom for everybody, actually. So on the 6th of April up to the 11th of April, you're running the last Creative Freedom Bootcamp, the last one. Yeah. But that's not the end of Amanda Grace, is it?
Oh, no. I guess the best way to think about Creative Freedom Bootcamp was really the beta program of what's to come. One thing about me is that I don't rest on my laurels. I am a voracious student, and I am always learning, both adding value to my own skills. I'm always learning about my students, and I'm always learning how to do better business, add more value to what I offer. So I am about to go into a full rebrand, and also to think about this as, I'm saying goodbye to Pilgrim Soul, who I have been online since 2015, and to, I'm emerging from my own chrysalis as Amanda Grace, and really stepping into my coaching skills, and also my business skills. And I want to have more of an impact. I want to really, really deliver the kind of value that will change people's lives. Journaling has changed my life, or I should say, getting to know myself, recovering my sense of self, learning how to love being me, and love taking care of me, has profoundly changed my life. And journaling is the tool that has walked me there every step of the way. It's like my magic looking glass. And I've been journaling all my life. I have been doing this all my life instinctively. What I've done over the past 15 years is that I have learned the language behind it. I've learned all the theories behind it. Like, I've learned how to understand the workings behind it so that I can teach it.
That's amazing. That really is amazing.
I'm really excited about it, and I really do believe in it. I believe in it as something that is really powerful and important. And in my new, incarnation, I want to make it easier and more accessible, because the art journaling tends to put people off, because immediately they're like, oh, I'm not creative enough, or I haven't got the time. The creativity will always be part of it, but I want to really help people just get pen to paper right now. Like, let's just start there.
Okay, yeah, and it's your passion shines through when you're teaching this throughout all of your boot camps. So
yeah,
and I'm sure that as you move forward and you morph into what's going to be coming up in September, October with your new offering, okay, I'm sure that's going to then take on an even bigger role. So now I know that when I invited you on, you mentioned that you wanted to give back, and to help, kind of almost give a small offering in terms of what can come up, because I know that you said that you want to kind of almost show, because you're going to jump into my membership group next week, which I know my members are really excited about, and it's all going to be about helping them to make decisions by using journaling.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know that we touched upon just before we started having this conversation, about maybe sharing a bit about that with everybody on the call today. So I'm going to let you just take over. So
okay, smack. I love that. Yeah, what I said was, rather than talk about it, why don't I just show you? So I'll probably use you as a guinea pig, if that's all right, Paula. I'm sure you have a pen and paper in front of you. Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, don't worry about
I got my remarkable.
Okay, your remarkable will do. And don't worry about your participation. I'm not going to be asking you personal questions or anything like that, but you are going to be my guinea pig. Okay, so let me begin by making a statement. And that statement is that there is you, and then there is the you would love. Okay? And in between you and the you would love, or in between you and the life you would love, is a decision. It's a really courageous decision. And obviously it's not just one decision, but between you and everything great in your life stands a decision. So that's where I'm coming from right now. And that is a fact. That is a truth. And that's why this is important. So I just want to offer that upfront in terms of why you want to learn how to make a decision that you can be proud of, that you can be confident in and courageous about, not because it's the right decision, not because it's the perfect decision, but because it is a decision. All right. Now, what people tend to do, and I include myself in this because I have definitely, and still, you find yourself doing it every single day. You find yourself procrastinating on decision making, not making decisions in the moment, because generally A variety of reasons. One of the reasons might be, you don't want to rule out other options. You're always kind of keeping your options open.
Because there is always that fear, isn't there? That, oh my God, if I do that, then I'm going to be locked into this.
Exactly. If I say yes to this, what am I going to say no to? And nobody wants to say no. Right? And people don't like being said no to. So very often that is what stands between you and your decision. Hence why you want to get very, very clear about what you are saying yes to and very, very clear about what you are saying no to, so that you can feel confident. And I call that your sacred yes and your sacred no. When I'm teaching, I often offer there's a scene in Castaway with Tom Hanks at the very end of the movie. Spoiler alert. And he's standing at a crossroads. And his life, his entire life has, his identity, who he used to be, is gone now. And so he's at a crossroads, and it's literally, there's a decision to be made, and which way is he going to go? And so I call this clarity at the crossroads. We agonize over the crossroads because we just are so focused on which way should I go. And what we really need to be focused on in that moment is naming each of the roads. So naming what your choices are and being clear in it. Okay. So I call that clarity at the crossroads. One of my biggest decisions in life was deciding after 2 pregnancy losses to no longer pursue motherhood as a vocation in life, because I very much felt that motherhood for me would have been a vocation for me. It would have been all I would have had space for, that kind of way. So it was a very big decision, in other words. But anyway, I thought what I was choosing between was having children, not having children. That's what it seems like. But what I ended up doing in that moment was asking myself, okay, because I knew I was on the fence. Not that I was on the fence, but there was ambiguity there. Okay. And there's a saying that says ambiguity. Oh, yeah. So when you are confused and there's ambiguity present, there's a saying from Carla McLaren. I'll quote her. She is the author of The Language of Emotions. She says, intention ends all ambiguity. So when I was straddling that crossroads and I was wondering which direction to take, am I going to be a mother? Am I not going to be a mother? I asked what my intentions were. What did I intend to happen if I had have become a mother? What needs would I have been meeting that would have been served, or I believe would have been served, by this strategy or role of motherhood? And once I got clear on that, I realized that really what it was about, I wanted to be witness to and involved in the growth and development of another human being. I wanted that intimacy. I wanted that connection. I wanted that experience of parenting as such. I wanted to help a person shape themselves, learn, grow. I wanted to experience the different highs and lows of a person's journey. And my doorbell just rang, but I'm going to ignore it. I listed all of those things out. And once I got very specific about what actually I wanted to experience through motherhood, I realized, oh my God, I can scratch all of those itches through my work, because I'm literally in that line of work. I can connect with my students in those ways. I can witness and celebrate their milestones. I can, accompany them through their struggles, and I can help them shape who they are, ask the questions, find their own answers. And so I realized that my work was extremely compatible with the need I was trying to meet by choosing motherhood. And I wasn't attached to motherhood being the vehicle to meet those needs. Okay, so that's what I mean by clarity at the crossroads. And so I was able to meet those needs by choosing work which would have fulfilled me in the same way, and also allowed me to still honor my value of freedom, autonomy, because they were the parts that were making me ambiguous. There was all that part of motherhood. I knew that it was no walk in the park. I knew it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. I knew that there was, like a giving over of oneself almost, a loss of your own identity. And the enormous sacrifices that come with motherhood, freedom, all of those things. I was in my 40s at that stage, and I was like, I just know, they were the parts that I was unsure about. So I realized by choosing work, I got to meet my needs and uphold my values. And it felt like a very aligned decision. So that's just me giving an example of what it means to have clarity at the crossroads. Now, another thing that you have to embrace when you are making decisions is you have to embrace what it means to be vulnerable. Okay? It's normal to be afraid when you do something new. If you are trying to do something you've never done before, you're not going to feel confident before you do it. Confidence comes once you've done it. And if you do it with you can generate confidence just by thinking to yourself, like, I'm going to make this decision. So the confidence doesn't even come from the doing. The confidence also is a decision. I'm going to allow myself to feel confident in this decision, right? Success, like whether or not it is a good decision, is not what breeds confidence. And my doorbell is still ringing. And I'm not expecting anybody, so I don't know who that is, but you're going to have to go away. So sorry, but so distracting. That never happens, by the way, ever.
Maybe there's something really important there. I can hold this space if you need to run and grab it. So this is live TV, do not worry. So there you go. So actually, just to kind of fill in, so I was working, and I have been working with Amanda now for just under a year, and the reason actually that we ended up working together is because she had these amazing boot camps that she wanted to put up online, and as it says down below, I am Amanda's tech genius. So I just managed to help her to take all of her ideas and to get that onto the website and to be able to help her to sell it. And and this is now, I don't think now we're going to stop. We're just now going to carry on going. So, and just so then you have an idea actually in terms of, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes, isn't there? So what was at your door? We have to know now, okay? It was really important.
Oh my God, you're not going to believe it. It was the postman letting me know that there was post.
In Ireland, you have such lovely postmen, obviously, ours knock and run away,
I know, I have a little medal here. I'll leave a medal out for him tomorrow. Anyway.
Carry on, Amanda. So, yes.
Okay. Yeah. So let's say, the confidence is not going to come about by way of, like, you don't feel confident before you take the action, and the confidence is not going to come about because of the action. The action comes about because of a decision made to feel confident to take action on a decision that you've made in a state of confidence. All right. So it really is a matter of mindset. And the trick with confidence is to practice it, and decision making is to practice it in small ways. And then you get small wins. Okay. And I'm going to give you a very small win type example of decision making. And I swear to God, this is going to sound ridiculous, but there was a time in my life where if I stayed over in your house, Paula, and you said to me, what would you like for breakfast? Would you like a boiled egg, or would you like a fried egg? And I would literally lose my shit. I'd be like, I don't know, whatever you take. Now, what I would have really liked was a poached egg. But I know that now, but I could not make a decision. Like, if I was offered two types of breakfast cereal, I could not make a decision because I was so worried about what I would decide would do to you. I was afraid of your reaction to my decision. So I was constantly not making decisions and deferring to what was most convenient to you, because I had no confidence or practice in making a decision and sitting in that decision. So here's how it still plays out for me, interestingly. Every time I get my nails painted, I love getting my nails done. It's one of my things. Every single time I'm in there, I'm faced with this kind of remnant of indecision because of the color choices. And every single time I have this whole like, will I do something different? Will I do something different this time? Or will I just stick with what I know? This is my default color, right? I've been getting this color since, I don't know, for years and years and years. But every now and again, I'll break out and I'll get a new color. So they're small decisions. And I want you to, when you're making small stake decisions, like what color will I do my nails? What will I have for breakfast? All of that. Pay attention to what goes on inside of you. What kind of thought process is happening behind it, so that you can kind of learn where your hiccups are. So one of the things might be, oh, well, if I choose this color now, I'm stuck with it for 3 weeks because it cost whatever amount of money, So know that you are telling yourself, like, it's literally nail color and it's a 2-week thing. It's not a terminal illness, that kind of a way. Like, what big of a deal are you making out of these decisions? Things like that. What will I wear today? Will I wear eyeliner or not? Will I wear eyeshadow or not? Notice what goes on in you and the degree to which you agonize over decisions throughout a day. That is how you practice being decisive in small ways. And all it is a decision to stop agonizing and make a choice, and then be good with that choice. Enjoy that choice. You know what I mean? Rock it and own it. Own that color. Like the last time I was got my nails done, I picked a color that on the dummy nail looked amazing, but when it went on my nails, it looked quite neon. And so my very first thought was, okay, well, I won't be picking that color again. No, thanks. But I decided to rock it. And interestingly, I got more compliments on that nail polish, probably because it was neon. But I got more compliments on that nail polish than I did on this that I ever do on this color. And it kind of gave me a new kind of like, well, I'm so like, that was how do I put it? It was like I got to enjoy that decision in the end, because I didn't change my mind. I stayed with it. I could have changed my mind when she had 2 nails painted, but I stayed with my decision. Now, you don't have to stay with yours.
Isn't that interesting, eh? Isn't that interesting? And it's then knowing it's a short-term thing and accepting that, isn't it? So
it's literally just nail varnish, and you get to do it again, right? So this isn't the one and only time that you get to paint your nails. Right? Now, this also goes to, because this is a low stakes decision. So practice understanding that you get to paint your nails again in 2 weeks. Now, here's another thing, right? Decisions like, don't stick with a decision just because you spent a long time sitting with it, just because you spent a long time making it. Anybody who has had a first marriage behind them will know what that agony is like. It's like, oh, here's my bed. I've made it. Now I have to stay in it. That's not, so like, own your decisions, but you also don't have to stay with decisions. You get to change. In other words, a decision is not terminal. You get to change your mind at some other point. So when you are making a decision today about the color of your nails, you get to change that decision another time in your life down the road. And that goes for every decision. Every decision can be unmade. Right?
Yeah.
All right.
And that's no different from Amanda, going Creative Freedom Bootcamp is the last one. That's it. It's that decision to then pivot and move into more of your strengths almost, because I think that as you've gone through the last year, you've seen everything that you've wanted to do, and you've almost come out a much stronger person, because you have been learning all that time. And it's okay to go, do you know what, let's make a pivot.
Yeah,
let's just make that pivot, and it's just doing it. So
and I understand as well my logic and my reasoning behind it. I've been sitting with this decision now for a year ago, I said to you, we're going to run this 4 times.
You did. Yeah.
So, yeah. And the closer I got, like I'm making this decision from a place of trust, from faith in myself, faith in, what is, I really believe that the direction I'm going is expansive, because I've had the thought, am I just ripping up something that's already working? Like I'm doing the whole, there's a voice inside me going, well, if it's not broke, why fix it? Why are you changing something that's working? And yes, there's on the more woo side, there's first of all, there's a sense that it needs to evolve, that I want to evolve it, that it is natural to, because of what I'm learning and growing. And also I know that I'm making a decision from, how do I put this? It's like, if I don't, it's like, I have a student one time, she told me, I love this sentence, stop trying to ride 2 horses with one ass. So that, you know what I mean? Like I can't bring in the new energy I want to bring in if I'm not willing to let go of the energy that is already here. You know? Yeah. So the energetic container that I have right now has been beautiful. I'm going to let go of it in a very honoring way. And there is a grief that will have to come around it. There is, because it is an ending.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty good at endings. I am. So, and I've learned that an ending is really just a precipice to a new beginning.
Yes.
And it's necessary. So again, that's me being discerning in my decision making. I know that the decision I'm making right now is going to be, again, it's not a terminal thing. It's going to be a learning process, and I get to course correct as I go. I'm literally reading the stars as I go. I'm navigating in the old-fashioned way with the old-fashioned instruments. I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen, like, I keep changing my Instagram handle because I'm like, no, that's not it. That's not it. That's it. No, I finally landed on it. But every couple of weeks, I'm like, sorry, hi, everyone. I've changed my Instagram handle again. And last night, I changed it for the last time. It's now Amanda Grace Coach. But last night, I was like, oh, God, if I change this again now. I heard the voice going, people are going to just think you're a flake. And then I was like, it's a fucking Instagram. Like, so what? And then I owned it by putting up a post that said, I've changed my handle again. It's part of the process as I navigate my second adolescence. Right? So
I love that post.
Yeah, I owned it, and I brought in some humor, as in, like, I'm not going to be ashamed of my decision. I am not afraid to grow out loud. I think that's one of my strengths. I'm not afraid to learn on the job. No. I'm not afraid to show you. And in fact, I think it's really, really important. And it has been in my way of teaching as an artist this whole time. And as a teacher, I want you to see me learning on the job. I want you to see me. I'm a human being figuring shit out in the moment. I do not know anything that is a secret thing to know. I used to think that people were sent to Earth with a manual, and I was just fucking missing on the day that it was handed out. There is no manual, right? So making your decisions and owning them. So just quickly, because I know we're going to have to go, huh?
Yeah, I was just saying it's fabulous, and I love it. And I could listen to you speak all day. I really could.
Well, I could talk all day, and I've had all my caffeine. So, be careful what you wish for. So here's a very quick thing to do, right? So I want you to write down on a piece of paper what you are trying to decide on today. And that might be, will I have super salad for lunch? Right? Now you can obviously write down anything. It might also be, will I change my car? Will I cut my hair? But try not to make it, will I leave my marriage? That kind of way, but do something low stakes, but the hair one is good. Will I cut my hair? Will I dye my hair? Will I, whatever. Write it down on a piece of paper. This is the outline. And then write your fears down first. You need to vomit all your fears out. You need to give them a voice. You have to let that voice in you that's like, but people will think. You have to be like, yeah, I know that's there. So in terms of the Creative Freedom Bootcamp, on day 1, I teach you how to basically facilitate the internal vomit, the mind vomit, and to make space in your life for all the, lunatics in your head, the peanut gallery, to all have their say without it knocking you off without you traumatizing yourself. Because that's what happens. If we're afraid, if we speak the fear, that it's going to destroy us. So day 1, Creative Freedom Bootcamp, I teach you how to speak your fear, speak your criticism, all of the things. Be with the peanut gallery. So first of all, that is it. Let the peanut gallery have their say. What worries you? What are you afraid of? And the prompts there are, I'm afraid because I'm worried about all of that, right? Now, allow yourself to feel the pain of all of that anticipatory loss, all of that worry, all of that vulnerability, okay? So, and know that it is normal for this vulnerability to hear. Nobody makes a decision without vulnerability. And confidence is not the absence of vulnerability. Confidence is the embracing of vulnerability and the doing it anyway, all right? Now, when you write down all of that stuff, what you're going to do is you're going to now ask yourself, okay, now what am I not acknowledging? As in, what is the other side of this story that I'm not taking into account? Like, what if it does work? Like, what if I cut my hair and it's fabulous?
Paint your nails a neon color and you get...
What if it's just fucking fun? Like, what if my neon nail color doesn't actually fit in at all with anything I wear? But what if it's just fun and it strikes up a few interesting conversations over the next few weeks? Or, I mean, I had DMs. I went live one day and I'm very handsy, as you can see. The amount of people who didn't hear a word that I said were just like, oh my God, what's the name of your nail varnish? I love it. But that's okay. Like, it's, we're still connecting. So account for all the things that could go right, all the ways in which it could be wonderful, and give your brain equal airtime, because your brain is skewed evolutionarily to predict all that could go wrong so that it can stay in control. So you want to give equal airtime to how you might be surprised. Well, where might the hidden gems be? Classic example for me, if I had not have ended my first marriage, I would not have met my current husband. And as you know, we have a love story that was featured in the newspaper last week.
Yes, the Sunday Times on Sunday.
It was in the Sunday Times. We actually have a love story. I left a story and I let it go, and I did the whole, and with it went a business, car, to a house, everything that we owned, gone. Literally, house of cards collapsed. And then what? 10 years later, I'm in the news. I'm in the Sunday Times with my, with my love story.
Yeah. The things you don't know that can happen. Yeah, that's amazing.
You have to allow yourself to allow your brain to imagine what could happen once you get to the other side of that decision that might be a surprise, okay? And you owe it to yourself to have both sides of that conversation. All right? So just because you're scared doesn't mean you don't want the decision that is scary to make. And it just means that your mind is confused. And remember that intention ends all ambiguity. So always ask yourself, what is my intention? Like, what do I really want here? What itch am I trying to scratch? What need am I trying to meet? And when you list them all out, you might find that the scarier decision, the more unpredictable decision, is the one that's actually going to meet the most needs. And then you just decide, what are you willing to, like, what are the non-negotiables? Because you might decide, you know what, this is the one, this decision, although it's going to be scary, the need that is most important to me is over here. And that rules out over, it outweighs all of these negatives. All right.
Fabulous.
And when you do that when you do that in your journal, what's happening is you're thinking outside of your head, you're thinking on paper. So you get to observe your mind on paper. You are paper thinking. And that creates enough of a distance for you to see that this is a process happening within you and it is not you. You're not blended into what's happening in front of you.
Wow. Fabulous.
Yeah. And
fabulous.
Okay. So
fabulous.
Yeah. So and so you write it all out on paper, and that just gives you a distance. Now, I mean, there's so much more I could actually run people through a process with this. And if you're on Creative Freedom Bootcamp, I am going to give a lesson on this. I think this is our new bonus, isn't it? Yeah. So like on Creative Freedom Bootcamp, I will do a full lesson on actually walking you through this. And I'm doing this for your community.
My membership group, which is going to be next Wednesday, 11 o'clock, which I'm going to be on an aeroplane and so upset that I'm going to miss actually, but I'm going to definitely catch that recording. Okay. So
you come back and everyone be like, Paula, I've made a decision. You'd be like,
yeah, all of my members at the same time making decisions. I just want to share this lovely message actually that we've had from one of your students actually that's joining us. She said that she's still searching for the manual.
Oh, aren't we all, Jutta? Here's the good news, Jutta. There is none. And the better news is you get to write your own manual.
Isn't that great?
That's great news is that the manual belongs to you. It's the book of you.
Yes, it certainly is. It certainly is. So, Amanda, just thank you. Oh my gosh. So I just want to touch on actually. So for anybody which is in my membership group, the Chat with Paula membership group, Amanda will be coming in and doing a full, she's going to be with us for a whole hour, doing a whole session on, decisions to help you with your business, by journaling. So that's going to be next Wednesday at 11 inside the membership group. If you're not in the membership group, come join us. If you want to be and, experience more of Amanda's great teachings, jump onto the last Creative Freedom Bootcamp. The details are on the ticker on the bottom of the screen here. It's $37. It really is. And when I think about how much of Amanda you get for $37, it's something like 8 or 9 sessions of an hour each every day. It's amazing.
And I'm bringing really my A+ game. Like I am so pumped up for this, and I am just, because like I said, what was the last one? January,
yes.
You would not believe the amount of learning that I can do. Like I went to bed the other night at 8 o'clock and I did 6 hours of study in bed. Like and I bring that to my students. So even if you did it in January, I promise I am so fired up because I've learned some pretty cool shit in the last 2 months alone. And I'm bringing that to this. And I'm not even going to limit myself in terms of what I give, what I deliver here.
Well, I think your students know that. You have so many recurring students that keep coming back because every time it's updated, it's tweaked, it's more, oh.
That's true.
I know that there isn't one. I know that, yeah.
Just knows there isn't a manual. Yes. No, there isn't.
So I mean, I think that your students, they keep coming back because they do know actually that it does evolve, it does grow, and it just kind of learns with them. So she said that she took part last September. So
she's taken a few of my classes, and I follow Jutta on Instagram, and her creations, and she's a prolific journaler over there in Germany.
So yeah, and I think this is going to be well, amazing. So I'm really looking forward to the last boot camp. I really am, and I'm looking forward to actually seeing more about what kind of how this evolves and how it changes and what's going to be launched going later on in the year. So do you want to just share your social handle again for Instagram? So just
I know what they are. Yes, absolutely, and they won't be changing. So on Instagram, I am Amanda Grace Coach. On Twitter, I am Amanda Jane Grace. So sorry, but they have 15-letter cap. On Facebook, forget about Facebook right now. Just find me on Instagram. It's Amanda Grace Coach. I'm not even good on Twitter. So Amanda Grace Coach on Instagram is where you'll get most of me. And then Creative Freedom Bootcamp.com is where you can register for the bootcamp. And I hope to see you there.
Yeah. Join us again there. So thank you so much. And yeah, you can now, I'm going to let you go now and everybody else in our thing. So thank you so much. And yeah, we'll see you next time.